Hey guys, wanted to just do a quick update video on the scenery I got from GW a while ago. The Galvanic Servohaulers, I believe that's what they're called. Yeah, Galvanic Servohaulers. So after getting them out of the box, putting them together, there's a couple things I noticed. Some cool stuff, kind of some stuff to look out for. Not so much a negative per se, but just something to look out for if you're into collecting this type of scenery or building this type of scenery. So let me show you really quick what we got here. So move this to the side. Here is the crane, the dozer, and I cannot remember what this is called. I want to say it's a tractor, but I don't know. It also comes with this tiny little toolbox. It's pretty cool, and a very tiny, very tiny fire extinguisher. You can barely see it, sorry. It's super tiny. Probably put that on a base with the toolbox, just not so as not to lose them. Just a really cool little accent. But here's the dozer. It's got the little claw arm. I mean, it gives you the option of the claw arm or the I don't know if this is a plasma cutter or just another like tool attachment, you know, something to put smaller tools on, like a driver bit or something. Crane's got two parts. I haven't glued them completely together yet. This also comes with an option of either the claw or this tiny little hook that you can put on there. And I don't know why anybody would use the hook, but you know, to each their own. So as far as detail goes, it's not terrible. And here's the track system that the crane operates on. It looks like just like a pulled carriage. It can be pulled by one of the other vehicles or another vehicle or a tank or something. And then this works on like a rail system, a swivel, like a turntable rail system. Kind of like a train car, almost. So, again, it's not terrible terrain, scenery, obstacles, whatever you want to call it. I feel like they're more obstacles than anything else, because of the nature of them. They went together fairly easy, no real complications. The only thing I would warn about is follow the steps, obviously. Be careful to put things, even in the steps, putting the pieces together in order. Because if you don't, excuse me, you'll wind up having to take stuff apart that you've already glued to insert something you forgot, like this axle here. And I don't know why, I forgot. But also, I I know this is the Chinese manufactured plastic, and like the Rise of Pattern Ruins, those were pretty solid, those were pretty tough. But this piece right here specifically, and I'm going to show you, is very, very, very flexible, extremely soft. All these parts wiggle. Okay, so my word of caution is, if you build this stuff and you store it, you got to be careful where you're storing it, because this literally feels, look at that, like it's ready to snap here and here, and obviously here. And it's not, I don't know if it's necessarily the plastic. I mean, well, partly plastic because it's real soft, but also kind of like just the design of it. There's no support in here for this arm. And you can see it's like real, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I'm just pinching it lightly and it's flexing a lot. There's nothing in here, you know, nothing here to brace this whole part of the crane, except for here and here. So I feel like that could have been designed a little better. It looks cool. It looks really cool, very steampunky, you know, very Adeptus Mechanicus looking. Just one of those things. You're just gonna have to be careful with this piece. So I'm debating on actually gluing it to its base, you know, or leaving it off for storage. I don't know. These guys are pretty solid. I mean, this arm is, there's this point right here, right there. This will snap. I mean, it's gonna come off. If I don't break it, just trying to work with it and paint it stuff, I'm pretty sure in storage it will break. Or in use, someone's gonna probably pick it up and be like, ooh, and then snap it. I've done that hundreds of times to people's models and scenery. And if you hand me something that you're not sure about it being sturdy enough, I'll probably find out where it isn't. That's just, I don't know why, but it happens. All my buddies will tell you that. This guy is this one is probably the most solid of the three. I mean, the arm is solid, no wiggling, the pipes, everything is on there pretty good. So I'll just give you a quick look at this stuff. Here's my Space Wolves Dreadnought. So just to show you kind of some sizing, some scale, you know. I've got a Terminator here as well, and I know it's all kind of, I tried to zoom in a little more so you guys could see it. I don't have a remote for this kind of camera yet. Someday. But yeah, there's a Terminator, there's Dreadnought, and here are the parts. So you can benefit from cover from these things. I know there's special rules in the game for them in scenarios and missions, but there should be some cover provided by these things, or at least blocking of line of sight, you know, for standard figures. Maybe not the Dreadnought, he's pretty big, but the crane will definitely block the Dreadnought. It's pretty big. So, you know, you can't see it, but he's pretty much obscured by the crane. This obviously won't obscure anything, but it should grant cover, in my opinion. It's definitely a house rule that you talk about with your gaming buddies or whatever, or wherever you're at, but it's definitely something that should be discussed before the game, as with all terrain. Especially this type of stuff, because it's not cut and dry like the shipping container, where it's just, you know, that's a big piece, that's a rectangular piece of scenery that is very obviously blocking line of sight, providing cover for models. So it's not like that where it's pretty straightforward. These things are pretty interesting in design and shape. So, you know, it's up to you and your opponent to decide how best to use it. I think it's cool scenery. And all in all, I like it. I picked it up to add to the Galvanic Magnevent. I hate these words. They're so unnecessary. Anyway, the Galvanic Magnevent to, you know, to blend in with that stuff too. And I have another piece coming, the Forge Shrine, you know, for the Titans or for the Knights to get benefited from, for the special rules for the Knights, because I got some Knights, so I wanted to use that piece. You know, if you have Knights, you should get that Forge Shrine, because it just benefits your guys on the table in game. Really cool. But I wanted to have that theme, a piece of scenery, so I really like the look of these. I love the theme that they built them in. I don't play AdMech, but they're cool looking. They're really, really cool looking. Dark Gothic, steampunk, you know, all the cool stuff. So I'd recommend it. I mean, if you can get your hands on these, get them. You know, it just adds another level of color and theme to your table. It adds, you know, a dynamic to your table that you probably don't have. Or, you know, maybe you do, I don't know. But we didn't have one, so I figured grab it up. I got a bunch of shipping containers, so it all fits, you know. It all fits that theme of, you know, moving shipping containers around. So if you're interested, give it a shot. I think they're worth it. But like I said, be careful. There are some parts on the kit that just didn't seem to have a solid, you know, construction stability. So that's my thoughts on the Galvanic Servohaulers from Games Workshop. Thanks for watching.